Bessie, it's always good to see you here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, which I think was your home track many years ago.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, trucking company's 2 miles down the road. I consider it my home track, although NASCAR hasn't never been here that I know about, but it's a great little place. I've caught a lot of people telling me that, geez, Beech Ridge isn't that nice of a place. I said, you have not been to some of the places on the East Coast. You need to go to some of these little short tracks that NASCAR goes to. This is one of the nicest places on the East Coast.
Well, we think so, and we know that as people come in from out of state, we hear oftentimes, gee, we are just amazed at what a nice little facility it is. I know the folks are going to welcome seeing you back here at the Scarborough Oval, and I want to get your impression of these legend cars.
I think they're the greatest little thing. I was talking to the Monforts here, and I'm very fortunate to be driving one of their cars. I can see it's all class equipment. They got 6 of them all around us here. Just really impressed. Somebody asked me today, well, how fast they go? I said, they go as fast as you want to go. I can tell you that right now. And they're just a neat little form of racing. I think they got a great future ahead of them. I think one of the best things about them is they seem to bring them back in one piece week after week, and that's more than a lot of us can say.
That's for sure. I think it's a great concept. It's a cost-conscious kind of race car, which we certainly need. An awful lot of people need. I think would love to be involved in racing, but really all the classes have become so expensive. When you were here last and we got rained out, unfortunately, I think you're about the fastest car I had on the stopwatch. So I don't know if you knew that or not, but I thought you really were getting around this Beech Motor Speedway in style.
Well, that's good because we're getting around better tonight. This is a little bit better car than I had the last time, and really fun and comfortable. I'm looking forward to it. I was really disappointed to get rained out the last time we were here, and glad to see they got a chance to come back, and I think it's going to be a great night.
I do also. Wish you all the luck in the world, and great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks.
Thanks, Joe. Well, Kelly Moore, it's nice to have you back here at the Beech Motor Speedway. I think a track that a lot of us consider right in your backyard, and of course, a lot of people may not realize, but you in fact won the first late model feature on the new asphalt in 1986, and I know it's got to bring back some pleasant memories to get an opportunity to get back here in your hometown.
Yeah, it does, Bruce. You know, this racetrack's been good to us a few times that we've been here. You know, we raced here for about a half a year back in '85, I think it was, and we had a really good time. And these little legend cars were a real lot of fun. We were here a few weeks ago and practiced one, and you know, we're glad that Ralph and the Cusacks have given me the opportunity to jump into one of these tonight.
Well, absolutely. I think it's a treat for the crowd because obviously you're away on the tour, and incidentally, I know doing very well. I think sitting second in the point standings right now with a great shot at grabbing a title. And I know the folks who are weekly attendees here, I'm sure really going to be pleased to see yourself and Joe and Andy here as part of the Beech Ridge program.
Well, I hope so, Bruce. You know, the Jordan Lumber, Pennzoil, Chevy, Aluminum's really been running really well. The last couple of races we've had kind of a slump, but you know, hopefully tomorrow at Lee we can bring that back into victory lane.
Well, we certainly hope so. A lot of folks will be wishing you well on that, and certainly great to have you here with us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, Bruce.
It's nice to have you back at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Unfortunately, last time you were here, this Legend program got rained out, and we're certainly pleased that you and Kelly and Joe are able to make it back on this second shot, and it looks like the Mother Nature is certainly shining on us tonight.
Well, that's great. You know, we're glad to be back here, and I don't know about Kelly and Joe, but I've been waiting since the last time, and we did get rained out, and I was kind of disappointed because these cars are a lot of fun, and they are really growing here in Maine, and a lot of people are buying them, and I'm kind of anxious to get out there and one again and race it. You know, we got some practice in the last time we were here, and then we got the rain, so it ought to be a lot of fun here tonight.
Absolutely, and as I mentioned to Kelly, of course, I know a lot of folks follow you and Kelly, and you're having a great year in the NASCAR North. I think sitting third in the point standing at the present time, and of course the regular crowd here perhaps doesn't get a chance to get out and get to the tour races, and this gives them a chance to see a couple of the main young men who are doing very well on that tour.
Yeah, well, that's good. You know, we get to come here to Beech Ridge, and we're real happy to be here. We don't get to race here, unfortunately, but we're glad to be here, and some of the Beech Ridge fans can see us and maybe get to know us and then start coming to some of the Busch North races, and that's what we'd like to have them do. And yeah, we have had a real good season on the Busch North Series. My O'Connor GMC Sugarloaf USA team they've done a super job this year, and we're running up front consistently every week, qualifying real well, and had some bad luck along the way, but it turns out we're third in the points, so we're in the hunt, and we're going to keep trying to win some races.
Well, we certainly wish you well, and again, it's nice to have you here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, and good luck tonight.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to also remind you that professional quality videotapes are available from Thunder Video. They have a booth down in Turn 1. Why not capture some of the great racing on video? And in the Busch North standings, Andy Santerre sitting third in the point standings. So they have a night away from the tour and an opportunity to get back and run this legend program. Also, Elliott Forbes Robinson, one of the key people in the creation of these ever popular legend cars. We'll be telling you more about them as the evening goes on.
Reserve your trackside table. Call 883 for today's simulcast post times. Take Route 1 or
Variety Ocean 98.
Ocean 98. Sailing every night to watch, I realized why twice you ran away.
with Harris Oil Company to please move to the infield area. They like to have a pitcher. Appreciated in a great cause, a great idea. I'm not sure. I wish I could take credit for that idea, but I can't. But whoever came up with it, I think, was a great idea, and we understand the fans really enjoyed it. And Most Popular Driver Awards will be made next Sunday afternoon when we make the switch to the fall season. Next Sunday afternoon, next Saturday night, or next Saturday afternoon, I should say, right here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, the Scarborough Ramsey Jr. To his outside in the number 12 is Tim Genrin. Row 2 on the inside, the number 3 is driven by David Raymond. To his outside in the number 16 is Jim Shaw. Row 3 on the low side in the number 10, Ben Roussel. To his outside in the number 13 is Ed Gallant. Row 4 on the inside, the 28 is driven by Jeff Severance, and to his outside, the rookie Troy Picard in the number 30. Row 5 on the inside, the 85 is driven by Scott Chapman, and to his outside in the number 62 is Eric Booker. Next on the grid, the number 2 is driven by Forrest Boucher Jr. To his outside in the number 79, one-time feature winner Phil Weber in the number 79. On the back row, outstanding rookie in the number 51, Corey Buzzle. And to his outside in the number 4, Dennis Featherson. The pace car makes its way on the infield pit road. Car's down to turn 3 now. Staging for a start, the flagman points to turn number 4. We look for a start at that faint stripe start as it's picking up just a little bit. The green is out and we're racing. Larry Ramsey with the advantage from the pole position down into turn number 1. Tim Genrin coming hard on the outside, trying to draw it even on the backstretch. Tim Genrin now with a fender up down into turn number 3. Genrin, a strong runner here 1 week ago, going to take it over onto turn number 4, 4 wide down the front stretch. Somehow they get out of that. Let me tell you, it's hard to run 3 wide on this track, let alone 4 wide. Jim Shaw was hung out there 4 wide. He managed to get it back in, lost a few positions, but a nice bit of driving by the youngster in the number 16. Tim Genrin, your leader, followed by Ben Roussel in the number 10. Then it's Jeff Severance sideways in the number 28. Jeff Severance dirt tracking the 28 there in turn number 1. Then it is Scott Chapman in the number 85 sitting 4th. Side by side for 5th. Forrest Boucher Jr. with the advantage in the number 2. David Raymond hung on the outside now in the number 3. This is heat number 1 in the Limited Sportsman Division. Cars now on the move on the outside. Troy Picard in the number 30. Dennis Featherson in the number 4. Going to try that outside lane and see if they can advance to the front. Troy Picard, one of the strong running rookies in this division, works the outside in the number 30. Gets a little high out of turn number 4. Doesn't seem to affect him too much. As Dennis Featherson at the back bumper, and we are coming to the halfway point, indicates the starter. Junior Niles, assistant starter here at the Speedway, handling the flags for heat number 1, marks the halfway point for heat number 1. Continues to be a strong and impressive run by Tim Genrin in the number 12. Things tightening up. Competitor Ben Roussel in the number 10 has Jeff Severance at the back bumper. Severance followed by Scott Chapman. And Forrest Boucher Jr. continues in the 5th spot. And working his way up the outside once again, the rookie Troy Picard in the number 30. Man on the move once again, the young man in the number 30, Troy Picard, trying to get up into that top 5. Looks like he may do it out of turn number 4. As the 85 went a little high, Troy Picard to the inside. He has come from back in the pack to be a factor now in the top 5. Starting indicates just 2 to go when they cross the stripe this time. Jeff Severance sideways in the number 28 once again. Reminiscent of the dirt track days here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Jeff Severance with a little handling problem in the number 28. They are in their last lap as the white flag comes down. Jeff Severance, Forrest Boucher Jr., and I believe Troy Picard. Number 1 in the Moe's Excavating, number 12, young man out of Scarborough, Maine. Tim Gendron capturing the first qualifier. That car is also sponsored in part by the Scarborough Muffler Center, Merritt Pools, and D&G Pools. Definitely a young man to keep your eye on in tonight's main event, as this makes 2 weeks in a row that this young man has appeared to be very strong. The heat number 1 for the Forest City Chevrolet Super Sportsman Division. Here's a look at the starting lineup. On the pole tonight in the number 65 is Rocky Yargo. To his outside in the number 80, Darrell Ward. Row 2 on the low side, rookie Gary Groves in the number 25, and to his outside, Doug Shores in the number 51. In row 3 on the low side, David Sprague in the number 1, Rob Herrick in the 86. Row 4, rookie Donnie Whitten in the number 83, and to his outside another rookie, Bob Nicolaitis in the number 3. In row 4, the 22. I believe Chris Rule is in the number 22 tonight. We'll check that. And Jim Brown back behind the wheel of the 1X. We're going to double check that. But we believe it's Chris Rule in the number 22. Flagman Eddie Welch handling the flags now for heat number 1, Forest City Chevrolet Super Sportsman Division. He says pick it up just a little bit. Points to turn 4. Cars all over the place out of turn number 4, and that will be a false start. The flag stand as the drivers will glance back one more time. They work down through turn 3, bring it to turn 4. Sarnas says pick it up, hold it even. The green is out, and we're racing once again. Darrell Ward puts a bumper up down to it, turn number 1. Rocky Yago right back to draw it even through the turns. Rocky Yago from the pole position, holding a slight advantage over Darrell Ward in the number 80. Cars stacked up 2 by 2, right back through this first qualifying event. A 10-lap event for the Forest City Chevrolet Super Sportsman Division. Rocky Argo shows the way. Gary Groves up to position number 2 as he works beneath the number 80. Brings the number 1 of Dave Sprague along with him, and Donnie Whitten in the number 83. Jimmy Brown right up the inside to take position number 5. Brown, of course, veteran of racing here for many years at the Speedway, was involved in a very severe and spectacular crash on the backstretch. No injury to Brown, but a lot of damage to the car. They took a long time straightening that car out, and he is back in action tonight. Gary Groves, your leader, rookie out of Westbrook, Maine. His first year of competition in any type of race car has been impressive from about the midpoint of the season on, with the progress this young man has made. At the halfway point, 5 down, 5 to go. Doug Shores way out over the stripe, a handling problem evidently in the number 51. Shores one of the few Fords in competition. Number 22 tonight. If that looks like the former number 16, that's only because it is. Evidently a little trading has gone on during the week between the 22 and the 16 teams. Starting Eddie Welch indicates just 2 laps to go. Gary Groves with all kinds of pressure from Dave Sprague. Sprague in the runner-up position. Then comes rookie Donnie Whitten in the number 83. Whitten in a close battle with Gary Martin for Rookie of the Year in 1994. White flag is out. They are in the last lap. Checkered flag in the air. Gary Groves will grab the first qualifier for the Super Sportsman, followed by Dave Sprague, Donnie Whitten, Rob Herrick, and Chris Rule. And here's your winner of heat number 1 in the Super Sportsman Division out of Westbrook, Maine, driving the Union Station Fitness number 25, Gary Groves out of Westbrook. Young man, as you can tell, very much involved in the art of illustrating. A lot of cartoon characters, a very interesting young man. Hope that a lot of you got an opportunity to get down and speak with Gary Groves during the autograph session. Now rolling on the Speedway, heat number 1 for the Down East Drilling late model division. Here's a look at the starting lineup. On the pole tonight, driving the number 22 is Kerry Winslow. To his outside in the number 37, Larry Gelinas. Row 2 to the inside, the number 29 is driven by Tom Oliver, and to his outside in the 0 is Barry Babb. Row 3 on the inside, the 91 is driven by Bobby Harrison, and to his outside, last week's feature winner and now a 3-time feature winner in the number 51, Kerry Anderson. Row 4 in the number 67, Corey Sanborn. In the number 54, Rick Frenette. And on the back row, the number 16 is driven by Tim Land, and the number 83, Steve Carrier. Heat number 1 for the Down East Drilling late model division. All clear from atop the flag stand as the drivers glance back one more time, staging down into turn number 3. Kerry Winslow, Larry Gelinas bring them to turn 4. Steiner looks him over. Green is out. Kerry Winslow with the advantage from the pole position. Larry Gelinas is second. Tommy Oliver to third. Barry Babb is fourth. Kerry Anderson in fifth. Battle shaping up for the runner-up position. Tommy Oliver dives to the inside, muscles his way under the 37 of Gelinas, takes it over from the low side. Once again, Kerry Winslow, Tommy Oliver, Larry Gelinas, Barry Babb, and Kerry Anderson. Kerry Anderson a little bit during practice late this afternoon, and he credits his crew. I said, what is bringing the success that you're having here in 94? And he thought for a minute, and he said, oh, I guess I'd have to say the crew. The dedication and the preparation that they put into this race car. He said, we do have good equipment. It's a distance racing chassis from Stan, Missouri. 2 to go at this point. Top 5 remains the same, although Kerry Anderson trying to advance one position as he works to the outside of the 0 of Barry Babb. White flag is out, 1 to go. Checkered flag is down. Kerry Winslow captures the first qualifier, followed by Tom Oliver, Larry Gelinas, Barry Babb, and Kerry Anderson. On in the late model division, driving the American Northeast Glass, Scarborough Auto Glass number 22 out of Limerick, Maine, Kerry Winslow. Most rapidly growing phenomenons in auto racing in America is, of course, the legend car. These are produced, for the most part, by the sons of Donnie Allison. If you remember Donnie Allison, younger brother of Bobby Allison, and you remember the name Elliott Forbes Robinson, well, they are some of the folks behind the development of these legend cars, which are about a 5/8 scale of the old coupes of the late 30s. And if you enjoyed the racing back in the 50s and 60s, these cars will certainly bring back a lot of memories. Heat number 1 now beginning to roll on the Speedway, and here's a look at the starting lineup. Driving the number 14, right out of Scarborough, Maine, and of course, both the Busch North and South Tours, Joe Bessie in the number 14. To his outside in the number 91, Bill Fountain. Row number 2, a young man who sits third in the NASCAR North Series in the 77R, Andy Santerre. To his outside in the number 23 will be Timothy Smythe. The 94 is driven by Sean Fountain. The number 27 Maine by Doug Coombs. The 63 is driven by Brian Branson. The number 2, Bruce Harrison. In the number 76 is Frank Manafort. The 77X, the man who sits second on the Busch North Series, Kelly Moore. And on the back row by himself in the number 31, David Casey. 1200cc Yamaha engines. We can tell you that much about a 5/8 scale of the old coupes of the late 30s. Flagman Eddie Walsh with the all clear. Once again, Joe Bessie on the pole in the number 14. Bill Fountain in the number 91 to his outside. They will bring the field to turn 4. Once again, the all clear. Starting Eddie Walsh says hold it even, pick it up just a little bit. At turn 4, the green is out. Heat number 1 is underway. Joe Bessie in the number 14 will lead him down into turn number 1. The number 91, Bill Fountain, quickly with all kinds of pressure at the back bumper of the Joe Bessie car. Here they come out of turn number 4. Car's a little squirrely. The 94 gets out of shape just a little bit. That's Sean Fountain sitting in the 4th place position. Brian Branson in the number 63 sits third. Continues to be Joe Bessie, your leader, followed by Bill Fountain in the number 91. 2 cars trying to break away just a little bit. From deep in the pack, Kelly Moore in the 77X. Through traffic. Joe Bessie and Bill Fountain in a 2-car breakaway. They are followed by the number 63 of Brian Brennan. Time of about 17:09 on the leader. One of the best times that I've recorded on these legend cars thus far. Starting indicates just 2 to go. Joe Bessie now has stretched out an advantage over Bill Fountain. In third once again, Brian Branham. We have a spin in turn number 4. I believe that's the number 94. Sean Fountain hits the car back underway. Field stays green. They are in their last lap. Leader on the backstretch, Joe Bessie in the number 14. History-making event, first qualifier, Joe Bessie, followed by Bill Fountain in the 91. Brian Brenham in the number 63. Up on the pole in the number 32 is Norm Sear. To his outside, the number 11 is driven by Lee Bundy. Row 2 on the inside, Kyle Hacker in the X, the 00 Chris Ross. In row 3, the 0 is driven by Paul Hacker. The 76X is driven by Jay Palmer. Row 4, the number 75 is driven by Justin Manafort. The number 1, Bob Duchesne. back row, the number 77 is driven by Gary Dunphy. And the number 6 by Elliot Forbes Robinson. Heat number 2, 12 laps on tap for the Legend cars. This time we have the all clear from atop the flag stand as the drivers will glance back one more time, staging on the backstretch down into turn number 3. Norm Sear, Lee Bundy on the front row. Bring the cars to turn 4. Flagman turn, lets them go out of turn 4. Side-by-side advantage to the pole sitter. Norm Sear in the number 32. Lee Bundy in the number 11 is second. X now being challenged for that third place position. The X is driven by Kyle Hacker. Next comes the double zero of Chris Ross. Kyle Hacker on the move on the outside as he works now to the high side of the number 11 of Lee Bundy. Double zero on the move up the inside. Things tightening up for Bundy in that second place position as he has the X of Kyle Hacker working to the outside. He has the double zero of Chris Ross to the low side. So all kinds of pressure at the back bumper and to the outside. Top 5 is a 5th place is in the hands of Paul Hacker in the zero. Challenge continuing to be waged by the X, but this time he's way up high and will lose a couple of positions. Start indicates the halfway point coming up as they cross the stripe this time. 6 down and 6 to go. About 18.5 seconds the time on the leader, so a little off the pace set by Joe Bessie in heat number 1. Side-by-side battle now for the runner-up position. Lee Bundy with a strong tangle in turn number 4. The 11 car and I believe the double zero got together. And Lee Bundy comes out on the short end of that one as he spins up to the high side of turn number 4. And with it finds himself on the rear of the lineup. Once again, your leader, Norm Sear, in the number challenger to his outside and at the back bumper. It will be just 2 laps to go when they cross the stripe this time. A shootout shaping up in heat number 2. The zero on the move on the outside, that's Paul Hacker. Paul Hacker has come up the outside in an impressive fashion, now with a challenge for race leader Norm Sear. Coming to the white flag. Cars are in their last lap. It continues to be Norm Sear. Strong challenge from Paul Hacker in the zero. He goes a little high, opens up the inside for the double zero. 3-car battle at the front. Checkered flag in the air. It will be Norm Sear over the zero of Paul Hacker, the double zero of Chris Ross. Are your high point men. On the pole in the number 38, Beaver Norton. To his outside in the number 58 is Paul Holstrom. Or scheduled to go on the outside, but that is Bill Panett in the number 6. Scheduled to go in row 2 is the number 25 of Kevin Buck, Paul Holstrom. Move back to the second row. Problems in the double zero of Wayne Poland. His car is shut down. Getting some help from Danny Bubar. Going to have to take it back on a pit road. What a tough break for one of the top point men. Resuming with the lineup, Mike Field in the number 88, Donnie Morse in the 75. The number 80 is driven by rookie Terry Merrill. In the number 93, Dave Langlis. The 55, Todd Fitz. The number 7 is driven by Steve Berry Jr. Once again, Wayne Poland on pit road in the double zero. Jeff Morgan behind the wheel of the number 70. The number 6, Bill Panett. The number 24, Danny Bubar. The flag stand. See See if we can find out just what the problem was on the 0-0. One of the point leaders, I believe, sitting third in points in this division. Starting Eddie Welch, points to turn number 4, says hold it even. Robert Beaver Norton brings the field to turn 4. Flagman looks him over, and the green is out. Norton with the advantage over Panett. Then comes a side-by-side battle for third. Paul Holstrom in the 58, Kevin Buck in the number 25 on the outside. Wayne Whitten in the 0, Mike Field in the 88 go side-by-side. Tight point battle in this limited sportsman division. A very even field with a lot of cars capable of winning a feature event. In fact, every one of these cars, obviously a car capable of winning a main event. Bit of a two-car breakaway at the front. Robert Beaver Norton, your leader, followed by Bill Panett. He was last week's feature winner. Then comes Paul Holstrom in the number 58 in third. Kevin Buck is fourth, and Wayne Whitten in fifth. Kevin Buck sideways, gets the car out of shape, does a nice job of straightening it out, and the other guys do a nice job of backing out of it, letting the 25 get straightened out. And what a nice bit of driving by Kevin Buck after being completely sideways in turn number 4 to get out of it. Meanwhile, back up front, it continues to be Robert Beaver Norton, your leader. Top 5 remain intact. Caution flag is the number 25 rolls to a stop at the top of turn number 1. That will put this field under caution. Out of turn number 4, Bill Panett with the advantage as he jumps into the lead. Wayne Whitten follows, as does Donnie Moore's problems on the number 38 of Norton. As he had difficulty getting underway, Bill Panett took advantage of that along with Wayne Whitten, Donnie Morse, and Jeff Morgan. They are in their last lap. Bill Panett, Wayne Whitten, Jeff Morgan, Donnie Morse, and Paul Holstrom, your top 5. Holstrom with a big challenge now from Steve Berry in the number 7. Berry on the move on the outside. Checkered flag is down. Bill Panett, your winner. Holstrom hangs on for position number 5. Does a nice job. Compartment. Phil's Auto Repair, the 5 and 35 used cars, number 6. For Bill Panett. Low side, rookie Kerry Martin in the 18. To his outside, the 93 is driven by Danny Palmer. Row 3, the 27, Richard Pelton. The number 69, Tim Maloney. In row 4, the 16 is driven by Don Culprit. The 03, Steve Howard. And on the back row, the number 24, Rex Garrett. And the 1X back out once again, just trying something on the car. That's Jim Brown. Staging on the backstage. They'll glance back to the flag stand one more time. Flagman Eddie Walsh with the all clear. Once again, Dave Bath and Russ Johnson on the front row. They'll bring the field to turn number 4. Flagman indicates to hold it even, pick it up just a little bit. The green is out. Dave Bath with a slight advantage from the low side. Kerry Martin right at the back bumper, now going to challenge Russ Johnson for the runner-up position. Kerry Martin, one of the strong running rookies here in this Super Sportsman division. Young man who was the Super Street Champion 1 year ago at the Oxford Plains Speedway in second, followed by Richard Pelton in third. Then comes Tim Maloney. Battling to the inside, will take position number 4. Outside groove, not to Russ Johnson's liking tonight as he is going backwards to this field. No opportunity to get down into that inside groove, and that appears to be the quick groove in the early evening. Showdown. Varsity Chevrolet Super Sportsman Division 1 week ago. Little car trading has gone on. If you're used to seeing Donnie Culpert in a red car, you got to get used to seeing him in a white car. Donnie Culpert in the number 16, one of the hard chargers and one of the contenders for the point title in this Super Sportsman Division. Starting indicates just 2 to go this next time by. Top 5 remains intact. Bumper to bumper for the top 5. It will be 1 lap to go when they cross the stripe this time. Dave Bath, Kerry Martin, Richard Belton, Tim Maloney, and Steve Howard. Checkered flag is out. Dave Bath captures the qualifier. Dave Bath, always a strong runner, still looking for his first feature event for 1994. Lane in the number 5, David Bath. That car is sponsored in part by Weir's Motor Sales, along with D.R. Bryant Excavating, Sanford Sign Graphics, Weeks Built Engineering. And these are your high point men. On the pole, the current point leader, Mike Johnson. To his outside, Glenn Cusack. Cusack, of course, a 5-time winner in this division. Position number 3, Paul Johnson in the number 35. In the 4th place position, the number 4, Bobby Babb. Starting 5th on the grid, the number 7, rookie Kevin Durgan. In 6th starting position, the defending champion of this division, Mike Mayetta Sr. in the number 13. And on the back row, starting in the 7th position, Joe Bowser in the number 32, and to his outside, Mike Mayetta Jr. in the number 3. Heat number 2, these are your high point men in the late model division. All clear from atop the flag stand as the car staged down into turn number 3. Start at points to turn 4, says pick it up just a little bit. Green is out. Mike Johnson down into turn number 1. Paul Johnson at the back bumper. Glenn Cusack on the high side. Only 14 points separates point leader Mike Johnson and the man in the runner-up position in the point standings, Glenn Cusack. They started in their point order, obviously, so the number 7 out of shape. Got on the brakes, had to back right out of it. So you have the top 8 as they started. Your top 8 cars in the point standing. Mike Johnson, cousin Paul go 1 and 2. Problems on the Mike Mayetta number 13 as he appears to be off the pace.
Watch this.
Starting indicates we are coming to the halfway point. Problems on the number 13 of Mike Mayetta. Car spun at the entrance to pit road. That will put the field under caution. Number 2 for the Down East Drilling late model division. Flagman Eddie Walsh points to turn number 4. The Johnsons bring them to turn 4. Flagman looks them over, lets them go. Once again, point leader Mike Johnson with the advantage. This time, Glenn Cusack has the inside lane. He will challenge Paul Johnson for that runner-up position and take it over at the halfway mark of tonight's qualifier. Glenn Cusack now in the 2nd place position, the same position he occupies in the all-important point standings. Cusack, a 5-time feature winner in 1994. Problems on the number 13 of Mike Mayetters. The car apparently will not stay in gear. Bobby Babb up the inside to challenge Paul Johnson now for that third place position. Babb will take it over from the low side. 2 laps remaining. Mike Johnson, your leader, followed by Glenn Cusack. Coming to the white flag. Checkered flag is down. It will be Mike Johnson capturing heat number 1, followed by Glenn Cusack. So 1 and 2 in the point standing, finish 1 and 2 in the qualifying event. So no appreciable change. How about a round of applause for the winner of the second qualifying event in the Polar Beverages, A.J. Kennedy Fruit and Produce, number 33, Mike Johnson.
Semi-feature Wildcat race on tap. The number 5 of David McCoubrey, the 37 of Owen Thurlow, the 67 the 47 of Brian Coswell, the 59 is Eric Holton, the 115 of Rene Girard, the 62 of Alan Gassett, the 99 of Chris Cronin, the 71 of Jason Brown, the 50 is Clyde Hennessy Sr., the 4 of Chris Webber. Flag is out. The number 5 of David McCoubrey has the advantage into turn number 3. Heading for turn number 4, the 37 of Owen Thurlow looks to the high side of turn number 4. At the start-finish line, cars are just about side by side into turn number 1 and 2. Smoke coming from all sorts of these cars as the cars begin to spin about in turn number 2 and 3. We got cars all over the place. The number 30 in turn number 2 to the low side in the sandbagging. The 5 is now being challenged by the 115 of Rene Girard in turn number 1. Start-finish line, the number 5 and the number 115 side by side. The number 54 slows up a bit. The number 54 at the start-finish line, the cars do a good job avoiding him as he has trouble starting that car up. As you can see, these Wildcat cars do put on a pretty good show here as these cars are spread out all over the track. Dust is flying. Sparks are coming out from under the car. Just what you came to watch, Wildcat racing action as the number 54 sits high and dry atop of turn number 1 and 2. That will bring out the yellow flag. Caution flag number 1 of Rene Girard, challenged by the number 5 of number 2, Ed Layton. Cars stage on the backstretch as they put their eyes in turn number 3 and 4. The number 5 of McCoubrey, the number 15, 115 of Rene Girard get the green flag at the stripe. Green flag is out. We're back under green flag. 3 and 4 wide across the start-finish line. High in turn number 1 and 2. The number 12 gets sideways and gets tangled in turn number 2. Smoke is flying in the fans in the backstretch. They have to clean out their eyes after that mishap on the backstretch as smoke and dust continues to fly atop of turn number 2, and the yellow flag is out once again. $10 gift certificate, Mainways. We get the all clear from Chief Starter Eddie Walsh at the stripe in turn number 4. Eddie Walsh tells the drivers to pick up the speed. Green flag is out. McCoubrey gets the sleepy seeds in his eyes, and that allows the number 115 of Rene Girard with the advantage into turn number 1, into turn 2. The number 71 of Jason Brown looks to the high side of Girard on the backstretch. Jason Brown now gets side by side momentarily, is then kicked back to position number 2. Rene Girard with the advantage to the number 37, spun on turn number 3 and 4. Gets that car started back up. Ed Layton to the low side of Brown takes over that second place position. Rene Girard still your leader. This time by, drivers will see the cross signal. That means halfway down of this 15-lap Wildcat semi-feature. Rene Girard now looking at lap traffic in his front window. Rene Girard, Ed Layton, Jason Brown, 1, 2, and 3 into turn number 1, looking into 3. 87 gets side, 83 gets sideways in turn number 4, 2. Onward into traffic, drives the car out the wrong way atop the backstretch. Not a very bright idea, but was able to do it nevertheless. Still, this time by, the drivers will see the popsicle sticks. 2 laps left into turn number 1. Girard, Layton, and Brown into turn 2. Girard a little high, but brings it back down to avoid the number 57 to go underneath him. This time by, white flag is in the air. Girard, one more loop around this 1/3 mile oval to capture a semi-feature win. Jason Brown now tries to the high side at the backstretch. Jason Brown in the 71 looking to take over that second place position. Layton and Brown side by side, rubbing door handles. It is Girard, number 1. The 57 comes second in, rounding out the top 3 in the number 71, Jason Brown. Coasting down to victory lane, picking up a semi-feature win. Ron's Heavy Equipment Maintenance, car number 115. Let's have a big round of applause for Rene Girard.
We have additional door prizes that we're going to be dealing with, so hang on to those ticket stubs. They may be more valuable than you thought, but right now, the Limited Sportsmen are rolling on the Speedway for tonight's semi-feature event. Here's a look at the starting lineup. On the pole tonight, driving the number 61 is Gordon Nelson. To his outside, the number 37, Andy Gayu. In row 2, the 21 is driven by Mike Hayes, and in the number 95, Roger Williams. Row 3, the 128 is driven by Ryan Shepard, the number 26, rookie Scott Hutchinson. In row 4, the 97 is driven by Keith Franklin, the 05, Glenn Reynolds. Next on the grid, the 43 is driven by Patrick Brown, the number 42, Kirk Bean. The 87 is driven by Bob Collette, and the 08, Whitey Meserve. In the number 71, Russell Barter. The number 81 is driven by Tom Huff. The 03 is driven by rookie Keith Dowdy. In the number 19, Jackie Roussel. And on the back row, the 45 is driven by Mike Culprit. And in the number 52 is Chad Humphrey. One, Andy Gayu to his outside. Stardust has picked it up just a little bit. They bring it to turn 4. He looks him over, lets him go. Gordon Nelson from the pole position quickly assumes the point. Double zero of Wayne Poland. We have a spin on the backstretch. Everyone clear. A mechanical failure, obviously, on the double zero prevented him from running his qualifying event. Once again, Gordon Nelson by himself at the point. Andy Gayu in second, being challenged by Roger Williams now from the outside. Williams in the 95. Then comes the number 21 of Mike Hayes in the 4th place position, rounding out the top 5, Ryan Shepard in the 128. Side-by-side battle for that 2nd place position. Andy Gayu on the inside, Roger Williams to the high side. Williams got a late start to the 94 season, but he has been a strong runner every time out. Gordon Nelson, of course, another driver who got a late start in the full. Phil Pomelo owned number 61, always a good, steady runner. Side of turn number 1, almost between 1 and 2. And Gordon Nelson will show the way. Andy Gayu is second, but Roger Williams right up the inside, going to take over that runner-up position. Drops Andy Gayu back to third, where he'll get pressure from Ryan Shepard. Coming to the halfway point. Junior Niles indicates with the cross flags, we are at the halfway point. Gordon Nelson once again looking to stretch out his advantage over the rest of this field. Pressure. Ryan Shepard on the low side, Glenn Reynolds to the high side. Here comes Reynolds with a challenge, trying to take over that 3rd place position. 3 wide racing on a turn number 4. Ryan Shepard has to back out of it as he gets the door slammed on into turn number 1. Andy Gayu not wanting to give up 2 positions. Gave up the position number 3 to Glenn Reynolds, coming hard from the outside. Now is going to have to try to hold off hard-charging Ryan Shepard and White fill the spot. Starting indicates just 2 laps to go as they cross the stripe this time. Pressure on for that 4th place position. Ryan Shepard now working to the outside of the number 37, Andy Gayu. White flag in the air there in the last lap. Battle is for 4th. Cars stacked up 2 by 2. Andy Gayu pressing to hang on. Checkered flag is down. It will be Gordon Nelson's race, followed by Roger Williams, Glenn Reynolds. In 4th, Andy Gayu, followed closely by Whitey Meserve and Ryan Shepard. Heating oil, number 61, veteran Gordon Nelson. Down in the Cellular One victory lane, collecting the goods. And that brings us to intermission time, a chance to get up and stretch. Remember, the main food concession is off turn 1 of the raceway. There you will also find the souvenir trailer. Sales still going on, so check it out. The Thunder video booth in turn 1. You have a concession area about halfway between the flag stand and turn 4, and of course the trackside lounge off turn 4 of the raceway. As we go to intermission, I had started on that giveaway. Somersworth, New Hampshire, welcome Steve Carrier. In the 16th starting position, driving the AEL Falmouth Kmart, number 16 from Southport, Land. To the inside of that next row, in the Dayton Used Cars, number 54 from North Water, welcome Rick Fernand. Next on the grid, to the outside, from South Paris, Maine, driving the B&D Transportation Thing Paving, number 67 for Corey Sanborn. To his inside, the young man who is now a 3-time feature winner, Dropping the Sparkle Wash of Maine, Anderson and Brown Incorporated, number 51 from Scarborough, Kerry Anderson. Next up, to the outside of row number 6, dropping the Epic Service Group, Miller Genuine Graft, number 91 from Scarborough for Bobby Harrison. To his inside, driving the Amano Sandwich Shop, Robert Babb and Sons, locking 0 from Wyndham, Maine, Barry Babb. Outside of the next row from Scarborough, Maine, in the sponsor wanted, number 29, Tom Oliver. And to his inside in the Joe Smoke Shop, Utilities, number 37 for Larry Gelinas. Outside of row number 4 in the American Northeast Glass, number 22 from Leamington, Kerry Winslow. To his inside, from South Portland in the Cellular One, Pleasant Hill Auto, number 3, Mike Mayetta Jr. Gotta make a correction on that to the inside of row number 4. Out of Scarborough, the Futura Stone, F.S. Flintsey Construction, number 32 for Joe Bowser. Outside of row number 3, the defending champion of this late model division in the Pleasant Hill Auto Sales, High Torque Engines, number 13, Mike Mayetta Sr. To his inside, also from Scarborough, Maine, in the Print World, Scarborough Muffler Center, number 7, Kevin Durgan. In the 4th starting position, in the Scarborough Kmart Hall Implement, number 4 from Wyndham, Bobby Babb. Starting 3rd on the grid in the NASCO machine, Superior Signs, number 35 from Hollis, Paul Johnson. And on the front row, 5-time feature winner in the Coca-Cola Popcorn Plus, number 2 for Glenn Cusack. On the pole, the current point leader in the Polar Beverages, A.J. Kennedy, number 33 from Scarborough, Mike Johnson. We have the all clear from the officials. On the count of 3, would you help me with those 4 most famous words in auto racing? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, start your engines. Pit road, Mike Johnson, Glenn Cusack to bring the field to turn 4. We look for a start. Flagman looks him over. Green is out, and we're racing. Mike Johnson from the pole. Paul Johnson right up the inside will grab the runner-up spot. 3rd place, a battle now between the number 7, Kevin Durgan, and the number 2, Glenn Cusack. Cusack and Babb hung on the outside. No way to go but to stay there right now. Battle is for 3rd. Kevin Durgan, the rookie, sitting 5th in the point standing. Having an impressive year in his first late model season. Paul Johnson in a new chassis for 1994, looking to put his car in the win column. After a very disappointing 1993, Glenn Cusack out of shape. We have a spin by the 54 of Rick Frenette. He sits broadside in turn 1, unable to refire the car before the caution flag down of this 35-lapper. The Johnsons on the front row. Mike and Paul bring the field to turn 4. Flagman looks him over, lets him go. Once again, Mike Johnson from the pole position. Paul Johnson hanging on a second and now challenged by Glenn Cusack. Cusack dives to the low side to take over the runner-up position. Brings Joe Bowser along, and Bowser will now challenge Paul Johnson for 3rd. Bowser is third. Paul Johnson in fourth. And Larry Gelinas holds down position number 5. Car that you might want to keep your eyes on is the number 51 of Kerry Anderson. Anderson has captured 3 feature events, the latest, of course, 1 week ago here at the Speedway. All hang out tonight in an effort to try and overtake the number 33. Mike Johnson, a multi-time track champion here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Glenn Cusack looking for his first late model title. Johnson would be capturing his first feature event if he is able to hang on to this one. So although he is the point leader, he is yet to win a late model feature event in 1994. On the number 22 of Kerry Winslow as he is off the pace and taking it down onto the apron of the track now. Tough break for the youngster out of Leamington, mate. Also problems on the 67. He makes a return from pit road. The 20. Well, that will serve to close the gap between the two. Deanna Stoddard. Also race leader and point leader Mike Johnson will have to square off with the man he is in a battle with for the point title here. That's Glenn Cusack in the number 2. Flagman points to turn number 4, indicating to hold it even. We look for a start at turn 4. We have it. Mike Johnson again with the advantage. Glenn Cusack mounting a challenge to the outside. We are approaching the halfway point, indicates starter Eddie Walsh. Mike Johnson, Glenn Cusack, side-by-side battle for third. Paul Johnson now putting about 3/4 of his car up, now taking over the 4th place position. Also on the move, Kerry Anderson in the number 51. He works to the outside of Joe Bowser now. The 83 of Steve Carrier off the pace. Problems on the number 83 as he goes down the backstretch. Rick Frenette back from a visit to pit road. up to position number 3. Glenn Cusack trying to reel in race leader Mike Johnson. Caution flag now. We have a spin on the backstretch. Like that Eddie Walsh with the all clear. Once again, Mike Johnson has got to duel it out with Glenn Cusack. They bring the field to turn 4. Flagman says hold it even. Green is out. Side by side across the stripe. Mike Johnson on the low side. Glenn Cusack up high. 3.5 laps to go. Glenn Cusack, last-ditch effort to see if he can overtake the point leader and close the gap in the ever-so-important point race to see who will be the late model champion. Start Andy Walsh indicates just 2 to go this time by. It continues to be Mike Johnson. Glenn Cusack second, Kerry Anderson is third, Paul Johnson is fourth, and Joe Bowser in fifth. White flag is out, 1 to go. Mike Johnson about a half lap away from winning the showdown for 1994. Glenn Cusack once again trying to reel him in, but it will be Mike Johnson over Glenn Cusack, Kerry Anderson, Paul Johnson, and Joe Bowser, the top 5. Tonight it belongs to this young man, down to collect the colors from Flagman Eddie Walsh, ready to make his parade lap. The number 33 is sponsored in part by Polar Beverages.
Mike, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
1994, first time in victory lane for 94. Must be pretty excited to pick up the win this time this season. A little bit more breathing room the last race next weekend.
Yeah, it's better breathing room because we finally got the car so it'll race. We can stay with the fast cars now. It's very nice to stay on the start on the pole tonight. That gave us a big advantage, but we also had a car to be able to go too, which felt real good. The crew did a real good job getting it going.
Tell us about your crew and sponsors.
Well, we have A.J. Kennedy's, we have Polar Beverages, we have Pleasant Hill Gardens, Half Hour Excavation, and there's probably a couple I'm missing, but right now I can't think of them.
Tonight, Harris Oil sponsoring tonight's showdown race. Dana Harris is here with the first place presentation. Dana?
Thanks a lot. Harris is happy to be here tonight, and with all, I'd like to say congratulations.
We want to thank Harris very much, because without sponsors like you, it would be very tough for us guys.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you, Dave. The legends all lined up on the infield pit for segment number 1 to go for 15 laps. Segment 2, a second 15 laps. Now the lineup for segment 1 will be based on the heat finish. Lineup for segment 2, the second 15 lap portion of the feature event, will provide an inverted lineup from the finish of segment 1. The final segment will be a 5-lap shootout. All lap cars will be to the rear of the field. Here's a look at the starting lineup on the pole tonight based on his win in heat number 1. NASCAR competitor on both the Busch North and Busch South Series out of Scarborough, Maine, in the number 14, Joe Bessie. To his outside, winner of heat number 2 out of Milton, Vermont, the 32, and Norm Sear. In row 2, out of Plattsburgh, New York, in the number 91 is Bill Fountain. To his outside, from Malaysia, in the 0 is Paul Hacker. In row 3, the 5th starting position, in the number 63, Brian Branham from Plattsburgh, New York. To his outside, the 00, Chris Ross out of Ballstrom Spar, New York. In the 7th starting position, the number 27, from Livermore Falls, Maine, Doug Coombs. To his outside, starting 8th, in the X-Car, Kyle Hacker out of Schenectady, New York. Starting 9th on the grid, second in the NASCAR North Point standing out of Scarborough, Maine, the 77X for Kelly Moore. Starting 10th on the grid from Plainsville, New York, in the 76X, Jay Palmer. In the 11th starting position, also from Plainsville, Connecticut, Frank Manafet, I believe it is, and in 12th, in the number 6 from Charlotte, North Carolina, Elliot Forbes Robinson. 13th on the grid, the number 23. From Malone, New York, Timothy Smith. And in the 77 to his outside from North Anson, Maine, is Gary Dunphy. The number 2 in the 15th starting position from Chelmsford, Mass, Bruce Harrison. And in the number 75, out of Plainsville, Connecticut, Justin Manafort. The 31 from Marlborough, Mass, David Chassie. And in the number 1 from Barrie, Vermont, Bob Duchesne. The 94 from Plattsburgh, New York, is Sean Fountain. Lee Bundy in the number 11 out of Kennebunkport, Maine. And in the 77, JR out of Cherryfield, Maine. Third on the NASCAR North Point standing, Andy Santerre. Flagman Eddie Walsh with the all clear. He points to turn number 4, Joe Bessie and Norm Sear, and the green is out. Joe Bessie into a quick lead from the pole position. Right up the inside comes Bill Fountain in the number 91 to take over the second place position. Norm Sear is third. Sear in the number 32. He is being challenged now by the number 63. That's Brian Branham. Shaping up for the second place position. Bill Fountain getting a lot of pressure now. Fountain in the 91 being challenged by the number 63. 63 gets a little sideways, has to back out of it just a little bit. That's Brian Branham. So second place held on to by Bill Fountain. Joe Bessie turning some quick time here in a legend car. Also on the move, Kelly Moore in the 77X. Moore from about halfway back in the pack. Up to 9th and on the move. Also on the move, Andy Santerre in the 77 Junior. But at the front, it is all Joe Bessie. Bessie now with a good half straightaway advantage over this finish. The lineup for this finish will be inverted for segment number 2. Challenge now for that 5th place competitor. Norm Sear has a challenge from the 00. That's Chris Ross. They go side by side for 5th. 00 going to take it over. Chris Ross is the 32. Got way up high. Bessie up to some lap traffic now. Will have to carefully thread his way through lap cars. As Joe Bessie crosses the stripe, the starter will put out the caution flag. Sirs like Joe Bessie and Bill Fountain, along with Brian Branham, Paul Hacker, Chris Ross, some of those who seem to be the strongest in the first segment. Let's see if they can come back up through, ready to go again at turn 4. Starter says pick it up. He looks him over. Green jumps into a quick lead. We have cars all over the place there, 1 and 2. They did a nice job of straightening that out. Lee Bundy in the number 11, the leader, followed by the number 23. That's Timothy Smith. Sean Fountain. Next comes the number 75. That's Justin Manafort. Going to take that over. Gary Dumphy. 63 around and up into the banking beat. Twain turns 1 and 2, and that will put the field under caution. Brian Branham, we're told, is the car that got out of shape. Oh, the 77 loses something. It's airborne down into turn number 1. Bundy, your leader on the pole. Out of turn number 4, Flyman looks a moment, green is out. Lee Bundy and the number 11 shows the way down into turn number 1. Battle down at the front. Have a car spun coming out of turn number 2. Trying to refire the car, unable to do so in time. Well, as we came to this restart, there was all kinds of pressure for the leader, Lee Bundy. They pick it up at turn 4. Starters out with a green, and they're racing once again. Problems in turns 1 and 2. Sparks pour from one of the cars. We have a car spun in turn number 1. He gets it back underway. Outside of the 4th place competitor, number 23. Andy Santerre up to the 2nd place position. See up now to challenge for the 3rd place position. Coming from deep in the back to from the very last position. Now with the number 94, that's Sean Fountain out of Plattsburgh, New York. Lee Bundy with all kinds of pressure from Andy Santerre. Caution flag is out. All clear from atop the flag stand. Cars are picking up. The pace car makes its way on the infield pit road. Green is out. Lee Bundy with an advantage over Andy Santerre. Santerre now looks to the low side of the number 11. Right up the inside. He will take it over, followed by Joe Bessie. Cars tangle in turn number 1. Has taken kind of an unorthodox segment number 2. Bessie trying to draw it even on the outside. The number 91, Bill Fountain, right there to challenge in third place position. Fountain right at the back bumper of Andy Santerre, going side by side with Joe Bessie. Segment number 2 as they cross the stripe. Well, we have the all clear ready for the final segment now. Cars do a little bumper tag over there in turn 4, but the green is out. And it is Andy Santerre and Joe Bessie in a two-car battle at the front. Up to be a part of the final fray along with Bill Fountain comes the number 76, the 76 driven by Frank Manafort. Taking a look to the outside, then looks to the inside, trying to find a way to get up and challenge race leader Andy Santerre. Two-car battle at the front with 2 laps to go. Flag in the air, 1 to go. If Joe Bessie's going to do it, he's got 1 lap in which to find a way around race leader Andy Santerre. It is a 2-car dash at the front. Here comes Bessie to the outside. Joe Bessie with a final try to the outside. Checkered flag is out. It will be Andy Santerre. Joe Bessie, the 76 of Frank Manafort. The number 63, Brian Branham. They're going to tally all the points, and that will be presented just a little bit later on. But here's the winner of the final segment in the 77 Junior out of Cherryfield, Maine. Andy Santerre down to collect the colors. He will make his parade lap and then be back in Victory Lane. You'll have an opportunity to hear from Andy Santerre back to return the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh. Will make his exit from the 77 Junior. And we'll have an opportunity to hear from Andy in just a few moments down at trackside. So let's take it down once again to Dave Sturgis. Dave?
Thank you, Bruce. It's kind of a smaller car that he is used to running on a regular basis. Let's welcome into Victory Lane, Andy Santerre. Andy, congratulations.
Well, thank you. That was a lot of fun out there tonight.
Was it really fun for you?
Well, yeah, we had a lot of trouble. First of all, I'd like to thank Gary Dunphy for letting me drive his car. He's really brave to let me sit in the seat. But anyway, we had a lot of trouble earlier. We didn't get to run the heat races. We lost the clutch. And we were going to give up and load it, but Gary said, if you guys want to fix it, go ahead and do it. So my crew that I have every week with the O'Connor GMC Sugarloaf team, they worked on this Yamaha engine, which we've never had about before, and they fixed the clutch, and we had to start at the back of the pack, but it worked out. We got halfway up through there, and then we finally got the second half. But
some of the fellow people that are out here don't regularly see you in competition. For some of them that don't see you, tell them what you do on a regular competition.
Well, I drive on the Busch Grand National North Series. I drive the O'Connor GMC Sugarloaf USA Chevrolet Lumina. We run Loudon, New Hampshire, a lot of tracks around New Hampshire. Unfortunately, we're only in Maine once, and it's Wiscasset Raceway, and hopefully things will change next year. I'd love to see a race here at Beech Ridge. This is a great place, and the fans are great here.
What's the difference besides size and horsepower that compares this with a regular racing car that you drive on a regular basis?
Well, I'm telling you, these things are real competitive, and they feel to me like just like any other race car. They have 4 tires and a steering wheel and a shifter in them, so I feel right at home when I get in there. But Joe Bessie had a strong car tonight. He was a front runner there, and that was good racing with Joe. He and I don't get to race together a whole lot, but when we do, we're usually right there in the front, side by side.
Would you like to make this a regular thing here?
Oh, this would be great, yeah. I've been trying to talk my dad into buying one so I could drive it once in a while.
Well, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Santerre.
Okay, waiting on deck are the Limited Sportsmen for their 30-lap main event of the evening. They will be followed by the Super Sportsman feature. Now rolling on the Speedway, the Limited Sportsmen for their main event of the evening. Here's a look at the starting lineup. On the pole tonight out of Scarborough, Maine, driving the number 12 is Tim Genren. To his outside, also from Scarborough, comes the number 3 and David Raymond. In row 2 from Saco, the number 16, Jim Shaw. And from Portland, Ben Roussel in the number 10. Next on the grid, from Buxton comes the number 13, Ed Gallant. And from Hollis, the number 28, Jeff Severance. From Old Orchard for rookie in the number 30, Troy Picard. From Sanford comes the number 62 for Eric Booker. From Buxton, the number 2 is driven by Forrest Boucher Jr. And from East Baldwin, outstanding rookie Corey Buzzell in the number 51. From Westbrook comes the number 4 and Dennis Featherson. From Standish, the number 38 for Robert Beaver Norton. From Portland, the number 58, Paul Holstrom Jr. From New Gloucester, the number 25, Kevin Buck. From Kennebunk, the 0, Wayne Whitten. From Buxton, the number 88 for Mike Field. From Wyndham, the 75, Donnie Morse. From Scarborough, Terry Merrill in the number 80. From Shapley, the 93 for Dave Langlis. From Hollis, the 55, Todd Fitz. From Gorham, the number 7, Steve Berry Jr. From Wyndham, the 00, Wayne Poland. From Saco, the number 70, Jeff Morgan. In the number 24, the point leader, Danny Bubar. Phil Weber in the 79, the number 6, last week's winner, Bill Bennett. And we're ready to go green out of turn 4 on the front stretch. Tim Genren from the pole position. And the tail end of that lineup, Larry Ramsey in the 73, Scott Chapman in the number 85. Tim Genren right where he left off in his qualifier at the point. Remember the strong run by the young man in the number 12. He is followed by Jim Shaw. Right up the inside comes Ed Gallant to take over position number 3. Inside row, running strong. Oh, a spin right here in the front stretch. Cars scatter up against the retaining wall. That will be a red flag condition. Please stay in your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay in your seats. Let the officials take care of these drivers.
Jeff Severance, Beaver Norton.
So far, we have an all clear from the driver in the 51, the 28, the 38. And from the number 30, so all clear for all the drivers. So the good news, no driver injury. A tough break for these competitors right at the start of tonight's Limited Sportsman main event, a tangle involving these 4 cars. But the good news, once again, no driver injury. Yes. All the drivers out of the cars, kind of surveying the damage, and a little uncertain as to whether any of these cars will be able to continue in competition tonight. Cars involved there, the 51 of Corey Buzzell, the number 30 of Troy Picard, the 28 of Jeff Severance, and the 38 of Robert Beaver Norton. Today's modular home construction by the folks at Greater Portland Modular Homes. once again. Pace car onto the infield pit row. Once again, Tim Genren leads the field at turn 4, and the green is out. Genren with a slight advantage over David Raymond as they race to turn 1, then turn 2. Right up the inside comes Jim Shaw to take over the runner-up position. He is followed by Ben Roussel in the number 10 as the inside row gets the jump. Cars sideways around in turn number 1. The number 75, Donnie Morse, got around and collected 2 other cars. Everyone is underway, it would appear, and the field will stay under the green flag. 3 wide racing through turn number 2. Your leader, Tim Genren. The number 10, Ben Roussel, came out of a 3-wide effort. Did a nice job of holding onto the car. Ben on the move, Wayne Whitten in the 0 as he works to the outside of Jim Shaw, looking to take over that runner-up position. Whitten from the outside will take over position number 2. Problems on the number 10 as he gets the car around. Collected by Dennis Featherson in the number 4, and that puts the field under caution. Tough break for both Ben Roussel. Marathon this weekend. And we'll keep you in suspense just a little bit longer to learn who are the winners of the most popular driver awards for 1994. Those will be presented next Sunday afternoon. Right now, Flagman Eddie Walt says we're ready to get this back to green flag racing. We have 6 laps recorded on the leaderboard. At turn 4, the green is out, and we're underway once again. Jim Genren and Wayne Whitten go side by side down into turn number 1, take it to turn number 2. Genren with a slight advantage. Whitten right back to draw it even at turn 3. Cars stacked up 2 by 2, right back through the top dozen or so cars. Tim Genren with an impressive run in his number 12. All kinds of pressure now. He has Kevin Buck at the back bumper. Has Wayne Whitten to the outside. Jeff Morgan looking for room as he is momentarily boxed in. One of the hard charges already up from deep in this limited sportsman field. 28-car field tonight. Of Tim Genren. Kevin Buck by a bumper, now even. With Wayne with spin in turn number 4, the number 16 of Jim Shaw is turned around. Drivers do a nice job of getting out and around the number 16, and the field stays under the green. Outstanding job being done tonight by Tim Genren, looking for his first limited sportsman main event, coming to the halfway point and shocking up a lot of lap time in the lead position, which will perhaps make him a factor in the Greater Portland Modular Home Lap Leader program. place position. Dave Langless and Danny Bubar going at it side by side. Danny Bubar looking to take over that 5th place position and try to rein in the top 4. Start indicates it will be just 5 to go next time by. Now Kevin Buck making an attempt to challenge Tim Jenrich from the outside group. Things have shuffled around just a little bit. Jeff Morgan on the inside, Kevin Buck to the outside. Thus far, Tim Jenrich has been able to stand the test, stand the pressure from the hard charges at the outside and the rear bumper. Start indicates it will be just 2 laps to go when they cross the line this next time. And I'm sure that is a welcome sight for Tim Jenrich. Tim Jenrich looking for his first Limited Sportsman main event for 1994. We'll see the white flag in the air as he exits turn number 4. Tim Jenrich with one of the best runs in his racing career. Checkered flag comes down. Jenrich captures the main event over Jeff Morgan, Kevin Buck, Wayne Whitten, and Danny Bubar. Tim Jenrich returning the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh. Ready to exit his number 12. And we'll have an opportunity to hear from tonight's Limited Sportsman main event winner in just a few moments. So once again, let's take it down trackside to Dave Sturgis. Dave?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Victory Lane, Tim Jenrich. Pretty excited, Tim?
I certainly am. It's been a long time coming. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Motor Excavation, Nair Pools, Muffler, Scarborough Muffler Center. I'd like to thank my crew out there that did a great job. I'd like to thank all my fans that really told me win. It was great.
First time in 1994, Harris Oil's tonight's sponsor, and Dana is here with the first place presentation. Dana?
Congratulations from everybody down at Harris.
All right, thank you very much. I love it. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Jenrich. Bruce Selden?
Okay, thank you, Dave. Not a little bit happy. Tim Jenrich, I know that first one, boy, is one you always remember. And what a fine run tonight by the young man in the number 12, as he had to hold off some of the heavy hitters in this Limited Sportsman division. Well, waiting on deck once again, the Forest City Chevrolet Super Sportsman division for their 30-lap feature. Here's a look at tonight's Forest City Chevrolet Super Sportsman feature lineup. On the pole tonight from Portland in the number 65, Rocky Yargo. To his outside from Hiram in the number 80, Darrell Ward. Row 2 on the inside from Westbrook, the rookie in the number 25, Gary Groves. And to his outside from Falmouth in the number 51, Doug Shores. Row number 3 from Scarborough, the number 1, Dave Sprague. And to his outside, also from Scarborough, the number 86 is Rob Herrick. Next on the grid from Kennebunk, the rookie in the number 83, Donnie Whitten. And to his outside from Arundel comes the number 5 for David Bath. Next on the grid from Hollis, the number 19, Russ Johnson. From Wyndham comes the number 18 for rookie Kerry Martin. And from Springvale, the number 93, Denny Palmer. From Scarborough, in the number 27, Richard Pelton. And from Cumberland, in the number 69, is Tim Maloney. From Scarborough, the number 16, Donnie Culprit. Also from Scarborough comes the 03 for point leader, Steve Howard. Rookie, Bob Nicholas in the number 3. Chris Rule tonight behind the wheel of the number 22. Rex Garrett in the number 24. And Jim Brown in the 1X. All clear from atop the flag stand. 30 laps on tap for tonight's Super Sportsman competitors. Pace car is in. Flagman Eddie Walsh points to turn number 4, indicating that Ira should hold it even. Pick it up just a little bit. At turn 4, the green is out. Darrell Ward from the outside grabs the lead down into turn number 1. On the move on the outside, trying to take over that runner-up position is Doug Shores. Shores will take it over in turn. We have a tangle in between turns 3 and 4. Rocky Iago around. Jimmy Brown having trouble getting the 1X back up to speed.
You know that he's only testing tires for
Evidently the 1X just out doing some testing off the pace and apparently headed back to pit road. Well, Doug Shores, our leader now, as he has put the Ford out front, followed by Darrell Ward, Gary Groves, Dave Sprague, and Donnie Whitten. They are your top 5. Single line with the exception of the 86 of Rob Herrick. Herrick trying to do a march up the outside. Your race leader, Doug Shores in the 51. Darrell Ward is second. Gary Groves in third. Dave Sprague is fourth. And Donnie Whitten in fifth. Doug Shores with a rather comfortable lead over Darrell Ward. Then comes Gary Groves in third, Dave Sprague fourth, Donnie Whitten in fifth. He makes a move to the outside of the 1X of Dave Sprague. Donnie Whitten in a close battle with Kerry Martin for Rookie of the Year. That every position is valuable, you can bet that Kerry Martin will try to close the gap between himself and Donnie Whitten. Donnie Whitten on the move up to challenge second place competitor Darrell Ward now. Out and around the number 80, taking over the runner-up position. Tangle in turn number 2. Richard Pelton around, another car around facing traffic, not to go on pit road, right back in is that sizable lead that Doug Shores enjoyed. He has to square off with Donnie Whitten. They bring it to turn 4 and the green is out. Doug Shores with the advantage. Donnie Whitten going to challenge from the outside. They go side by side into turn number 3. They'll bring it to turn 4. Shores with the advantage.
Somebody over there
16 involved, the 25 involved, the 86. We'll give you a report just as soon as we have it. Taping all the action here at the Speedway. Finish tonight if he's going to be able to close the gap between. Race leader Doug Shores is going to have to square off with one of the strong running rookies in this division, Donnie Whitten in the number 83. They will lead the field down through turn 3 to turn 4 where we look for a start. Flagman anyone says hold it even, pick it up. He looks the field over, lets him go. Doug Shores first across the stripe and down into turn number 1. Donnie Whitten right back to challenge Shores for the lead. It continues to be Doug Shores by about a half car length as they cross the stripe. Doug Shores in a Ford, looking for his first feature win of 1994. Young man who was, I believe, a 6-time feature winner last year. Donnie Whitten now looking for racing room beneath the number 51. Couldn't find it. Looks again down into turn number 3. Cars have to get onto the brakes, and the 22 over the top of the banking. Chris Rule driving the 22 tonight. I'll tell the story. Flagman Eddie Walsh once again points to turn 4, indicates to hold it even. Green is out, and we're racing once again. Doug Shores able to take it over. Here comes Donnie Whitten once again, hard on the outside. He's followed by Kerry Martin. Side by side for the lead. Doug Shores by about a fender as they cross the stripe. Doug Shores, Donnie Whitten, laps winding down. Kerry Martin getting into the fray now as he works to the outside of the number 80 of Darrell Ward. Steve Howard on the move on the outside. The white flag is out. Here comes Steve Howard. Last lap effort to take this one from the outside. Doug Shores on the low side, Steve Howard to the high side. Here they come out of turn number 4, 3 wide. Doug Shores too close to call between Steve Howard and Donnie Whitten. Then it was Kerry Martin and Darrell Ward. What a finish in tonight's Forest City Chevrolet Super Sportsman main event for 1994. Of Donnie Whitten, the 18 of Kerry Martin, and the 80 of Darrell Ward. Putting it in victory lane for the first time in 1994. And you'll have an opportunity to hear from the race leader in just a moment. Let's go trackside to Dave Sturgis.
Welcome into victory lane, Doug.
Well, thanks a lot. It's been a long dry spell. It's been a real hard year. I got to thank my sponsors, Roll Ford and G&R Automotive and Kenniston's, and I got to thank Wayne for putting together a car for me that goes as good as it does. We've had some bad luck this year, but hopefully we'll be straightened around for next year.
All clear is set. Cars pick up momentum into turn number 3. They'll head for the stripe in turn 4. At the stripe, green flag is out, and Wildcat 15 lap. Feature event underway. The 46 of Frank Scott with the advantage into turn number 1. The 36 of David St. Pierre to his outside. Cars 1, 2, 3, and 4 down the backstretch. Car tangles with the sand embankment atop of the backstretch. Sideways in the number 1 turn. He gets that car back into his forward momentum speed. The number 7 with his hood up over his windshield. Kind of hard way to get around this 1/3 mile oval at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. To his rear bumper, the number 17, William Bunnell, trying to do it to the low side in the number 17. He has the advantage into turn number 1, side by side. Bunnell and Scott down the backstretch. 17 and 46 doing it side by side. William Bunnell with the advantage in turn number 3. He'll look at the stripe in turn 4, take the lead in turn 4. The number 28 of Skip Butler gets sideways atop of turns 3 and 4. Cars will approach the white stripe in turn 4. Look for the green flag. They see it in the air. Green flag is out. Bunnell in the 36 of David St. Pierre take the contingency of Wildcat competitors into turns 1 and 2. The number 61 of Rob Karen now sits second. He'll look to the high side of the number 17, William Bunnell. Robbie Harrison trying it 3 and 4 wide in the number 2 across the start-finish line. In turns 1 and 2, Gary Babineau gets tagged by the number 38. Babineau in the number 9 down to the low side, which will bring turn 4. Green flag is out. Bunnell and Karen doing it side by side once again into turn number 1, into turn 2. Bunnell with the fender. Gary Babineau does another loop-de-loop in turns number 1 and 2. Rob Karen into the 61 gets sideways and picks up a car with him. Let's see what develops with about 1.5 laps left. Bunnell and Harrison pick up momentum in turns 3 and 4. They'll look at the white stripe in turn 4. Green flag is out. Bunnell and Harrison doing it side by side across the start-finish line. You could throw a blanket over the top 4 cars at this point, but Harrison with the advantage down the backstretch. He'll take the car into turns 3 and 4. The yellow and checkered out. Feature winner, Robbie Harrison.
Intern here at the Speedway. His son certainly following in his footsteps. Going to be down in victory lane and an opportunity to hear from tonight's Wildcat feature winner. Let's go to Dave Sturgis once again. Dave?
Robbie Harrison, ladies and gentlemen. Robbie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Win number 4. Pretty impressive season for 1994.
Yeah, it is. I'd like to thank Dave Sprigg and Darren Brown for all the help they gave me this year. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Portland Clutch, George H. Stanford, Jonesy Service Center, Steve Murray, Fabrication Welding.